What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and this is going to be one of them videos where I guarantee there's going to be some people that are definitely going to disagree, and you absolutely should, because we all have a difference of opinion regarding certain things, especially for the subject today, which is which of these characters has the best 3PG. Now, I'm going to be talking about my personal favorites. It doesn't mean that they are the best or that they're not. It's just my opinion. It's completely subjective, so all of you might have a different opinion. Let me know down in the comments what 3PGs are your favorite, and I'm going to be talking about the top 10. Now, guys, there is an insane amount of beautiful supers in this game from a multitude of characters. So this is honestly really difficult to do because, I mean, there's just so many, guys. There's just so many that's so good. And these are in no particular order. This is not ranked 1 to 10 or anything like that. These are just 10 of my personal favorites for reasons that I'll be giving you guys. And let me know down in the comments, you know, who your favorite 3PGs are and why they are. And again, this is in no particular order. And the first character that we're going to start with is one of my personal favorites. He's been in the game for a long time, and that is Mr. Karate. As many of you know, I really love intense characters, and this guy is the epitome of intense. And this one particular 3PG, the Kijin Sangageke, or I'm probably mispronouncing it, but this thing is just ridiculous. I love the sound effects. Listen to him. That big explosion at the end. It's a real simple but effective 3PG that just establishes domination. It's really what this character is all about, and man, I just love the crap out of it. No matter how many times I see that thing, I still think it's one of the greatest 3PGs and really one of the coolest characters in the game. So, which leads me into a collaboration character, and this is a really old school character that's been in the game for a long time. There he is right there, good old Delens. Now, Delens was a character way back in the day that was actually insanely good for Guild Raid Rugal whenever we could actually apply darkness, which this guy has. And at that time, you know, we didn't have, you know, uninterruptible 3PGs like this guy's 3PG can actually get interrupted, but the characters were just so strong, they provided so many buffs that you could really get it done, and this guy was really no exception. And he really does have like one of the coolest defaults and 3PGs in the game. Like, this thing is just, I mean, look at him, guys. He changes into an ancient being, and I mean, that thing is sick. That is one of the sickest damn things I've ever seen. And even his default, like, look at the default. Like, his default is badass. And every time that I look at Delens and I look at these skills, I just think to myself, boy, it sure would be nice to get another collaboration of this magnitude once again, because Netmarble does own the Seven Knights characters. They do own this property, so they could easily give us another collaboration. This is a collaboration that actually went over super well. Everybody loved it. Like, Seven Knights was huge, and the funny thing about that is a lot of people didn't even know what Seven Knights was. So that's actually pretty damn awesome. And now we get into the next character, which is UE Ash. Now, I don't think this really comes as a surprise that, you know, I would pick this guy's 3PG, because it really is like one of the most insane, coolest 3PGs in the game, because it really encapsulates everything about Ash, about all the powers he's stolen in the past. I mean, you just gotta love that they show everything in it. It's just one of the coolest 3PGs in the game, not to mention that it's a very long 3PG, and I felt like it was well deserving to be on this list. And to be honest, guys, a lot of them that I won't name are absolutely deserving of being on this list. Now, we get into another one, which is actually good old Cammy. Now, whether she's in this outfit, which is my personal favorite, or her Street Fighter 6 version, this girl's 3PG is, I mean, I would argue, guys, for me, probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite. It's hard to say, but this damn thing is, I mean, Delta Assault is just, listen, man, I can never get tired of watching this 3PG. Like, I can never get tired of it. I mean, guys, like, the culture in me is just, it just opens up whenever I see that. Okay, I guess that's the best way to explain it. Like, I just love that damn thing. That is one of the coolest 3PGs in the game. And again, whether she's, you know, got the classic outfit or the Street Fighter 6, either way, it really is just a top-notch 3PG, and then the next character might surprise some of you, and then again, it might not, depending on, if you're a player that played the original KOF way back in the day, but it is Orochi Iori. That's right, Orochi Iori's 5PG, not 3PG, but 5PG. I guess I should have been more specific in the beginning of this video, where I'm just talking about supers, not 3PGs. I'm just in the habit of always saying 3PGs, but supers, whether it's 5PG, which means you need 5 bars of power gain to use it, or a 3PG, wherever you need 3 bars of power gain in order to use it. And this guy, oh my god, like, that damn thing is insane to do. So earlier I talked about how I love intense characters, and again, Iori is, I mean, look at him, guys, look. You can see his breath when he's breathing. What a nice touch that Netmarble did for him. And then when you take a look at this 5PG, like this again, I mean, back when Dellen's was actually good, we actually used to use this guy all the time. I mean, this is one of the most intense 5PGs or supers in the game. He's literally crushing and smashing the living hell out of his opponent. And yes, the EX Iori also has an insane 3PG, but I'm a little bit more partial to Orochi Iori's 5PG, just because I feel like it's just more raw. Whenever I think of Iori, and even Leona at times, I always think of the Orochi versions, where they're just mad dogs out of hell, going crazy, going insane, and I just love it. I love you see the red eyes during his 5PG. It's just sick, guys. It really is one of the coolest damn 5PGs in the game. And maybe I'm just old school, but I really, really love it. And then we get into another one, which, may or may not surprise you guys at all, but it has to do with SS versions of Kyo and Iori. Isn't it really a surprise that either one of these characters would be on this list? But both of them have the same 3PG for their SS version, which is this one right here. And this is so badass because it was really the first of its kind where we had two characters, that had their rivalries, and they're working together to take down Orochi, is what that actually is symbolizing. And I always thought that this was one of the coolest 3PGs. You see these guys working together. Really, the only way this could ever be better is if some way they put Shizuru in there. That way you have all the sacred treasures taking down Orochi. But still, that is sick, guys. That is so badass that Iori's like holding up the opponent while Kyo lands the final blow. I mean, amazing job, guys. Seriously, one of the most badass 3PGs in the game. I don't think anybody could deny it. It went over super well whenever it showed up. And now we get to talk about good old Rugal. Now, Rugal has quite a few supers that I personally love. He's my favorite KOF character. Period. He is number one when it comes to KOF characters. And, like I said, he's got a lot of supers that are pretty badass and pretty awesome. But the truth is, guys, the Dread Fatal Wave is just something else, right? And this is a newer one, right? A lot of times maybe I'll go old school like what I did a while ago. But with Rugal here, I actually love this thing. I think this is a badass 3PG, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was kind of tossing and turning because, boy, I love Dead Mount Press too. I mean, like if you played the last KOF game, that there is really gonna cause some hatred in your heart if you ever played it, because Rugal is quite the menace when he's doing that. But I just love it, right? But I just wanted to show that just for fun. But honestly, the Dread Fatal Wave for me is just something else. And then he's got the one where he does the explosion with the polygon Rugal, which is also awesome. But I limit to myself to only one super per character, right? And we just kind of keep it at that, right? Iori just got lucky because he was teamed up with Kyo for the one we just talked about. And then we get into another little combo wombo, which is Mature and Vice's 3PG. Two absolutely gorgeous characters. I mean, my oh my, did Netmarble do a wonderful job aesthetically wise on them. But they did like what they did with Kyo and Iori, where they took a 3PG or took a super and they put both these girls together. And I really think it's one of the most badass 3PGs. You got the skulls, the gray skull, the red skull, the snake eyes, the snake bite coming down, the laugh from Vice, all these things all put together, an amalgamation of awesomeness all put together. And damn, I just love this thing. I just think it's sick as hell, and I honestly could never get sick of watching it because it's got two of the most beautiful characters in the game, getting it done, destroying, absolutely murdering, and it really just doesn't get better than that, guys. And then we get into another one that will surprise, I think, quite a few people out there, but we need to go into the codex to show this one off because, unfortunately, I don't have this character. Now let me find him really quick here, guys. All right, so here we are. Now, Kusanagi is another one. Now, I know this will surprise a lot of you guys that I would think Kusanagi is one of the best supers in the game. I know some players might disagree with that, but the reason that I pick Kuz is one, because he looks freaking awesome, but also because of the voice acting. Like, this voice acting is insanely good. Like, I think it captures this character just beautifully. It is so good. The 3PG itself, the super itself, is still badass, but Kusanagi with them red eyes, you know, Kyo being evil more or less, right? It's not Kyo, but you get what I mean, right? He's a clone of Kyo. He just looks badass, and that voice is just, man, again, it goes back to that intensity thing, guys. Like, Karate, Orochi Iori, and then this character, they're just super intense, you know, and I just love those kinds of characters. Characters that, whenever they hit you, you feel like you're done for, right? You're not getting up. And that's kind of the feeling I get from someone like, you know, Kusanagi, which is why I love that 3PG so much. And then we get into the last, but definitely not least, and again, this may surprise some of you guys. All right, so to make this a little bit easier, we're going to go ahead and click on here. We're going to go ahead and click on the Fest version. And then we're going to be able to find, oh boy, a whole lot easier, which is BS Nameless. Now, the reason I go to BS Nameless is because this 3PG is also, in my opinion, one of the coolest damn 3PGs in the game. It really is just a sick mofo. Honestly, Nameless has got quite a few. He's got a couple insanely good 3PGs or supers, but the newest one is my personal favorite. I just love it. You see the little lady there. You see him looking like he's in space, and then with the pile driver at the end. I mean, you know, honestly, it's really tough. I love that one, but this is the old school 3PG, and let's be honest, guys. This would probably bring back some memories for a lot of us. I do like this one too. It's, yeah, but Nameless, I feel, really does belong on here. His super is pretty awesome, and I mean, like I said, this last one is just, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. This last one is just, it's bonkers, right? And he's got some of the best theme music in the game, like really awesome. Again, I'm not trying to focus on particular characters, more like just their supers. But guys, just like I said earlier, there's going to be a whole bunch of these that I'm sure a lot of you are going to disagree with me about. I'm sure that a lot of you might agree, but think, you know what? There's other characters that are just as awesome, just as cool. And you know what? I would not disagree with that. There's a lot of supers in here that I think are spectacular, like Oswald's and Terry's. I actually like Shenwu's a lot. Magaki's is insane, right? And I could go on and on and on about how all these 3PGs and supers are just sick. Lady Guinness, like, I mean, Maki, hers is awesome, right? And so on, right? A whole bunch of these are just spectacular, but it's really a matter of opinion on what you think is the best. But let me know, guys, who your favorite supers are and why. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT 7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.